Hello and welcome to another YV Kids podcast. I'm your host Angela Stedman, and with me today I have Leah Follett. Leah is a former Bundaberg resident. She's a teacher, a health coach, wife and mum of two. Leah will be speaking this week at the Paleo Way Tour. Welcome, Leah.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
It's great to hear from you, Leah. First off, we'd like to ask you, why are you speaking this week at the Paleo Way Tour? What's that all about?
Okay, so I was lucky enough to meet Pete Evans last year, and we share similar views about real food. And he and I both come from a paleo background, so we just want to deliver that to as many people as possible.
Okay, so while you're here, what are you going to be speaking about?
I'm going to be speaking about my family. I think first and foremost is, I grew up in Bundaberg. I had my first child at the Bundaberg Base Hospital. And we had declining milestones for our eldest. And then when our second child came along, we knew what we were looking out for. And we knew how to fix him, and that was through diet and lifestyle and getting rid of all the junk, the preservatives, and looking at stress, cleaning up the home and the environment, just so they could thrive and be normal kids.
Oh, okay, so it sounds quite complex and involved.
Well, it is when you say it condensed into that many words in that short space of time, but that took us a long time to learn how to recover ourselves in that way. But really, it's just real food, and it's just low chemical home, and it's just making sure you get your exercise and you sleep and you rest. So it's not that hard. It's doing what we were evolved to do and how we interact in our society and with community. We can't balance our entire life without all of those things in place. So it's nothing different to what you're normally doing. It's just tweaking it.
Okay, so what do you think is going to be the take-home message that you're wanting to give to someone who's going to be attending the event?
I suppose it's that they have community and they have the resources, and they are already their own expert, and they're their own health care provider or health practitioner or whatever they want to call it. They're, like the medicinal pantry is just such an amazing thing to have access to, and you're in charge of stocking that and how you use those foods to support your body. You have all those in Bundaberg. It's everywhere. You just, you can go to the Shalom markets. There's a whole swathe of cafes opening up that can accommodate those real foods. And with people like Pete Evans bringing out more real food cookbooks, I mean, you can cross out the word paleo if you like and just think of it as real food, because that's all it is. And it doesn't matter what the media says. At the end of the day, it's just real food, and it's just clean living.
So what do you think, most people that are attending the event, what do you think they're going there for? And what do you think they're actually going to get out of it?
Well, they're going to see Pete because he's gorgeous. He is just the most lovely character I have ever met. I've, enjoyed his company a few times now, and he's excited and he's passionate and he just wants everyone to be well. So firstly, I think that everyone would be going to see him. But secondly, it's to find out what they've got in their area, and then to get a bit of a taste of what it is, because he's a chef, and you would assume that this style of cooking is hard, or that it's involved with lots of ingredients, and it's really not. He's often using 3 or 4 ingredients and making something amazing out of that. And it's not having all the different kitchen tools, it's just having a slow cooker or an oven, or it's basic things that everyone has.
Let's change a little bit of pace now, Leah. Can you tell us what a health coach is?
Okay, so the role of a health coach is to essentially, I think the first most important thing is for everyone to realise that everyone, just like you need a specific doctor that is on par with what you want for your health, the health coach is exactly the same. So every health coach comes along with their own background information, their own journey that has made them who they are. So that's the very first thing that everyone needs to be aware of, is that, myself as a health coach is completely different to someone else, and it's about finding a health coach that suits you. And what they do specifically is an agreement between you and them as to what you need. It's highly specialised. For some people, they just want for you to look over their lifestyle and work out where the imbalances are. And for other people, it's more of going back and do pantry clean outs and new cooking, and teaching them more of that scratch cooking and homemade stuff, or you're going on shopping outings with them. So it's essentially having just like having a personal trainer for your lifestyle and kitchen.
So, if you had someone that had, say, been diagnosed with something like diabetes or something like that, is there a role for a health coach in that kind of a situation?
There is, and the relationship between doctors and health coaches, or health coaches and naturopaths, is actually becoming quite a common thing, and it's strengthening. As we progress, because the role of a health coach is only a new kind of thing here in Australia. They've been used overseas, in hospitals even for such a long time. So we're just starting to learn how to integrate with medical professionals that to oversee the benefits or the health gains that someone with diabetes would have. For the health coach, they'd be looking at a diet specific or conducive to someone with diabetes, in supporting them, and then also looking at their stress loads and the other things that they need to support their lifestyle.
So I guess your role would be then, a person gets diagnosed with whatever it is from their doctor. They then go and see you, and you then say, well, look, this is how you practically implement all these things that your doctor's trying to...
Yeah, our role is to support it's kind of the bridge between going and seeing your doctor.
Yep.
It's making sure that you've got the practical hands-on information, that you know what's going on, because if you're diagnosed with something, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you've been given a piece of paper that says you've got diabetes that you know how to handle that thing. And when you go home, it's so overwhelming. You open up your pantry and things that you thought were okay for you could potentially be spiking your blood sugar and messing around with the level of medication that you're supposed to be on. A role of a health coach is not to deal with or advise on any medications. We only really prescribe exercise, and we prescribe foods as medicines, herbs, essential oils, those sorts of things that everyone has access to, and it's just about giving people ideas on how they can support themselves and how best to use these things.
So you're really a personal trainer, like you said,
Yes.
for helping someone with a newly diagnosed condition or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, thanks for joining us today, Leah. The thing that we do in the end of each interview is ask our guests if they were a cartoon character, what cartoon character would it be?
Okay. I have actually been likened to a cartoon character before. I don't know which one I would be, but I've been likened to one of the Muppets.
Right, okay.
So Bunsen and Beaker were the two little scientists with the lab coats on. And Beaker was the one with the red hair. He was really tall and thin, and he just walks around going, me, 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 and he never said anything that made any sense. So I think that, I've been likened to that before. I'm not sure if I appreciate that, but we'll go with that.
Right. Well, we've never had that one before,
Yeah,
so that's
okay,
interesting.
that's all right.
That's interesting. So thanks so much for joining us today, Leah. If you would like to hear more from Leah, you can find her this week at the Paleo Way Tour. To purchase tickets, you can go to www.earthevents.com.au. Where else can our listeners find you, Leah?
Okay, well, the easiest way is to find me on Facebook. So just go and find Leah Follett on Facebook. I've got a newsletter there. If you're on a PC, you can sign up for my newsletter, and it's based at www.akesisbalance, so AKESIS, balance.com. And that's my business website. And on that website, I put all my basic scratch recipes, how to do bone broth. I think I've got some videos on there. Obviously, I've got the newsletter. We also have links to a podcast that I do every week with Jo Whitten, and she's the author of the book Quirky Cooking, and she's also Quirky Jo. So, yeah, if you want to go along there, you can click on the links, and then you can find us through iTunes as well, and download our podcasts and subscribe there.
Thanks, Leah. So thanks for listening today. Don't forget to like Wide Bay Kids on Facebook, or visit our website at www.widebaykids.com.au. See you next time.